Yo, welcome to another episode of the BJJ GOONS podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tim, the Mushmaster Spriggs, and with me every week is
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Nico Ball, no new Nico. Glad to survived another week of 2021.
the first week. I don't know, man. I think this year has been pretty uneventful, to be honest with
Oh,
you. We're probably going to get to that a little bit later, but I mean, there's some really crazy shit going on in the jiu-jitsu world. I mean, the world in general is a lot of crazy shit going on always, but whew, man, this story coming out of Sacramento, I mean, I like to call this the saga of Manny Ray Gonzalez. Nico,
because it keeps adding on. It keeps adding on.
every minute, literally, like right before we went on air, just another facet of the story just was just added on. We're just getting more and more information. So, Nico, you made a whole post about this guy. I mean, this guy's a real nut job. So, for those of you who don't know who Manny Ray Gonzalez is, I'm going to say his name really slowly and clearly just so you know who he is, so you can avoid him or you control him, or if you see him out there, beat his ass. So this guy is the owner of Half Gracie Sacramento. He, after losing one of his 12-year-old female competitors to a rival gym. Now, this is a young lady that it still is a up and coming superstar in jiu-jitsu. She just outgrew the academy, according to the people that I spoke to that are close to the situation, that are actually involved in the situation. She went to another gym, and Nico, you said this yourself. Manny decided to wait 2 whole years and then started to harass this young lady's father. And his name is Dom, just for reference, because the name Dom is going to come up later in this story. He left him several voicemails, dozens of voicemails, very harassing, very threatening, just plain old annoying and very strange for you to be sending voicemails to someone over and over again, especially in 2021. I mean, what the hell? I mean, there are a couple of very fucked up quotes that this young man, or well, he's older than me, but this gentleman who's 31 years old decided to send to this young lady's father.
I think he's 33 now.
Oh, he's 33 now. Well, regardless, he's too old to be acting that way.
He's grown. He's a
Manny
grown
Ray
man.
Gonzalez is way too old to be acting a fool. So Manny Ray Gonzalez says, if you want it, you know where to find me, you dumb fucking nigger. Mind you, this gentleman is, well, he's not a gentleman. This douchebag, Manny Ray Gonzalez, is a black belt and owns an academy in Sacramento, Half Gracie, Sacramento. So this is a black belt, certified black belt, that has black belts or had black belts under him. And he's saying this, he's sending threatening voicemails. Another quote: I also don't fight fair, bro. I carry. So try me. I dare you. So, Nico, you want me to get into how I feel about this situation? We haven't even gotten to the Dom part. Do you want to go in on the Dom part? Do you want to continue the story, or should I?
Well, you want to tell the whole story, or you want to say how you feel? Is what you feel about the part that you told? Because there's still more to go. Are you gonna?
I think I want you to tell the Dom. One of our former guests, Dom Hoskins, was somehow got entangled in this web of fuckery. So, would you like to share, Nico?
All right. So Tim gave an account of like what he knows so far, and like he said, I did write up something about this on favelajiujitsu.com, mainly because after everything that occurred, Manny one wasn't really willing to apologize for what he said, the racial slur, or anything else that happened. He didn't really want to address it, and two, because he kept trying to like backpedal on what he was saying. So this all originally started because he was dumb enough to reference our former guest Dom Hoskins in the first place. And if you listen to the episode with Dom, you would know that he's like a civil rights activist. He's, you know, very socially active. And this, Manny made the comment on a phone call. Uh, oh, I wish I had the actual quote. Something about he had beat Dom Hoskins in a fight to win, and he said something about, yeah, like I'm gonna beat your ass, like your buddy Dom or something like that. So he referenced this other Dom, and this word I guess got out in the local jiu-jitsu community in Sacramento, and people messaged Dom Hoskins, who was not like involved in the situation. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know Manny was racist. But unfortunately, Manny like made that statement like your buddy, which is also, if you don't realize, it has racial implications that all Black people know each other, that we're all buddies. Like because the both Doms don't know each other at all, the only connection between the two is that they are Black. So if you don't realize that, that statement as well has very heavily loaded racial implications, even more dangerous than calling somebody the N-word, because that's the kind of comments that you make continuously in your daily speech around young children, and they internalize that shit, and it's fucked up. So he made that comment, and that's how this all blew up in his face. So Dom reached out to him. Manny asked Dom to stay silent. Dom did exactly the opposite when Manny refused to like actually apologize. And if you go on to Manny's Facebook, which has a public apology that's been edited after he said he didn't want to address the points of what he was apologizing for, like because he doesn't make it clear what he said. He doesn't make it clear who he offended. And he doesn't make it clear that he was threatening a child, like you getting all heated up over a 12-year-old because, and I guess what incited this, and what's scary is that this happened after so many years, after like 2+ years, is that she was doing well in competition. And that incited what I like this psychotic behavior of excessively calling somebody, threatening to want to fight them, to not fight them fair. And there's no explanation for that kind of erratic behavior. We have pictures of the amount of phone calls that Manny was calling. Um, so we'd like some explanations as to that, and we have none. Um, yeah, and is there anything else that he did other than that?
That was an excellent synopsis, Nico.
No, I think that sums it up. Like, since then, more people have just been coming out of the woodworks. Tim, you just told me about a message you got. I had a girl hit me up today, that apparently Manny doesn't respect people's marriages as well. Like, so, and like, we're just documenting it all, and it will all be published, or public for people to see.
It's just very troublesome. Like literally, right before we started recording, I get a DM from someone that was a former student of Manny Ray Gonzalez, racist douchebag and pussy, because like you're a black belt, bro. If you can't win a fair fight, you're a bitch. If your life is not being threatened and you're the one challenging someone to a fight, you're a bitch.
He says he felt threatened, and I would love to know what was said to him that would make him feel like that was anywhere near appropriate.
And let's go back a second. Like, it's very strange that you're upset about a child that isn't yours. That used to be a competitor years ago. This guy's a loon. This guy's bonkers. But anyway, I share the story. I share your post on my story. I get hit up within a few hours. They're like, bro, shit been crazy over there. This is a direct quote. Bro, shit been crazy over there. So apparently, people have been noticing this guy's erratic behavior for a while. All three of his instructors, who just so happen to be people of color, black and Latino and Brazilian respectively, all left. The gentleman that hit me up and told me about this guy on this DM, I mean, I could go on and on, but basically, the guy doesn't even want to recognize being a black belt under this Manny Ray Gonzalez, racist asshole, Manny Ray Gonzalez of Half Gracie, Sacramento. So people that got their black belts from this gentleman don't even want to acknowledge his existence or acknowledge that they even trained under him. that must mean like you're a real piece of shit. Because as we've noticed
That's how you really feel.
in jujitsu, people are willing to keep up or just go along with a lot of bullshit just to get along. And if motherfuckers is throwing the belt that you gave them in the garbage, they don't fuck with you. You're a piece of shit. So I'm just gonna say how I feel, Nico. This asshole Manny Ray Gonzalez is a racist, drunkard asshole, and he should be banned from jujitsu. And he should be banned from the jujitsu community. But as we've seen over the last year, he's probably more welcome in the general BJJ community than minorities are. Jiu-jitsu is not a very welcoming place for women, Black, brown, and indigenous people. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2006, and it's only gotten more and more racist as it's become more and more popular. I look at the jiu-jitsu, American jiu-jitsu documentary as a means of whitewashing the sport. And I feel as though, like with a lot of different things, once a bunch of white guys start doing it, they try to gentrify it and they just try to talk over or ignore the contributions of others. Um, Prime example, we had Henzo Gracie guys jumping peaceful protesters. And, you know, you could say it's hearsay, but if someone is DMing me and I live all the way in Maryland and I'm hearing about some shit that happened up north at a peaceful protest and I'm just in the crib and I don't even know these people, that's a problem.
Yep.
They had that Gordon Ryan douche being all racist and xenophobic and still having a show on Flow, right? For a while. I don't know if he has anymore because he went down to Puerto Rico. I guess he doesn't know that it's still a part of the United States. They're just ducking. I don't know what they're doing down there, but whatever. And Henzo's quoting Nazis and doubling down after he gets busted for it. But what's troubling about this is that when Dom called it out, you have people on his post and Manny Ray Gonzalez, the racist douchebag's post, taking up for him. They're basically trying to say, "Oh, you don't know what's in his heart." They're just trying to give this guy out.
What bugged me the most is that like most of the comments on his post were like, yo man, I don't know what happened, but stay strong. The fact that you're stepping away, like you're a real warrior, and da, da, da. And it's like, I think maybe you should first inform yourself on what happened, because like stepping away isn't enough. Like, you know, like for me, I feel like first of you like really need to directly address people, directly address the Black community and like what you said. Like, don't just try to side skirt it. Like, no, we talk about it. Like, be political, talk to the Black community. We got a Black Twitter, and apparently now there's a Black BJJ community that's just as angry as the Black Twitter. Like, and address them, because like we're pissed. Second, like as an educator, I'm a teacher, and like we go through so much professional development, you know, like I had to, you know, reach out to supervisors and refer a student to somebody else because like after 4 months, I can't get this kid to log into his email because, you know, they're like from Central America, not good with computers. And I understand that my level of Spanish and my understanding to help him is not okay. Like, and if I keep trying, like my tone and my misdemeanor with him is not going to be very pleasant. So like it's better for him to work with somebody else. Like, we're professionals. It doesn't matter how professional, how good, or how nice you are. There's a point where you need to recognize like your tone and your demeanor and all of these things impact the cognitive development of a person. You know, the cognitive development, you know, I'm talking about their mental. So like I can only imagine the amount of things that he has said to his students, like coming off of one review that
Oh,
I
you
want
got
to actually
receipts.
read word for word of on, I think this is on Yelp reviews. He says, a racist bias instructor is heading this academy. I was kicked out of his academy for supposedly injuring a higher ranked teammate with a legal unintentional neck crank when I was going for a rear naked choke. The real story is I tapped out this man 6 or 7 times during that 6 minute period. And that's on his Yelp reviews from December 6th, 2014. So like clearly, like this this person has done no professional development. Like there's like no outside like just like teachers in an educational system, he needs to be held accountable, and he's not. Like, he's not.
The whole sticking up for him shit is very troublesome to me because, like, if you have any sympathy or try to give the student out, you're not being pious, you're not being saintly. Deep down, you see a little bit of yourself in Manny Ray Gonzalez if you're giving him an out, because you see that you could be it, you could be next. And Black, brown, indigenous people, we've done most, and you could argue all the heavy lifting on issues like this, not just this year, not just this week, but for centuries. Where are the white voices? You know what I mean? Like, all these people have some shit to say when we talk about Black Lives Matter, or when we say, why aren't Team Lloyd Irvin in, or why are women in this documentary, or why are we getting this kind of shout out? But where are our white allies? All the people that say, yeah, racism is bad. We should jujitsu's for everyone. Well, where are they? I don't see any. I don't know too many. No, I don't see any, man. And I'm gonna say it, whether it's jujitsu or what's going on in this country or in the world, the white allies are not doing enough. And I just I don't think people understand what an ally is. Like, our white allies, I don't feel like they don't want to fight alongside us. I feel, Nico, like, I don't think they do, because if they go hard like they should, if they're trying to do the heavy lifting for us in jujitsu or in the world, they're gonna lose the privileges that they have. I feel like if you're really gonna make change, you're gonna lose it, and you're gonna lose the benefit of the doubt, which people are still willing to give Manny Ray Gonzalez, who runs Half Gracie Sacramento.
I mean, I don't think I'll be running the gym anymore, or that it'll be functioning a lot. I know like now students are leaving. Workshops are definitely being developed to kind of address it, like, you know, the subvert racism in jujitsu, um, professional development kind of things. Dom is going to go down and do some charity seminars to raise money. He had mentioned that he really wished he could help partner in opening a new school down there, but like apparently nobody got money for that. And that's definitely a realistic thing, especially in the middle of COVID. A lot of people have been reaching out, you know, kind of not wanting to train, or, you know, just kind of worried about things in general. And I think it's really important to think is like, you know, we can't go out and we can't beat Manny up, like Tim said in the beginning of the episode. And I'm like sitting there wondering if he's gonna cause us a lawsuit. But what we can do is like like, I mean, like, he is a jujitsu person. He should be in some fair tournaments. I just watched Cobra Kai, you know, they had some like whatever. Many will get what's coming to them, but I think it's more important that we really just think about where we put the capital in our community and kind of support, you know, other initiatives, other people, and really hold people accountable. So like that's why I did the article on favela jiu-jitsu. It's not like I want to call him out and call him a douchebag and call him a racist. What he is, I just want him to be accountable for what he did. I want people to see what he did, because I don't understand how his student, like, maybe his students don't know, maybe they do know and support him, but the fact of the matter is he has some like really bad reviews and Instagram stories disappear, but the article on favela jiu-jitsu is SEO friendly. um you know, and I reached out to Manny to see, I would love to know why he felt threatened, because for me on the East Coast as a female who has been, you know, assaulted before, I feel threatened to see how many times he called what he said, the fact that it was over a 15-year-old young competitor. Like, what if he showed up outside her house? Like, what if he showed up outside somebody else's house, strapped, drunk, angry, like out of character? That's a very scary reality that I live every day. Like, I live in Washington, D.C. It's a very dangerous city. So people think that it isn't that bad. But, you know, I felt threatened and I live on the East Coast. So I think people really need to respect the gravity of that and like really hold people accountable.
And I think, yeah, I don't think it can be understated just how dangerous that is. You know, just some nut job. I mean, we see it. I mean, you said DC. It's a very dangerous city, especially now. Like, you see angry, racist, armed belligerent people doing bad things. This guy, and the problem is, I feel as though like there are so many red flags before this incident. Thank God Dom decided to put that out there. Thank
That's
God you put
right.
out that article. You
Like
ever
you
think
really
of
brought up the wrong person, right?
think about it though? People let this stuff slide so long. Like, who's to say if Dom didn't say something that this guy didn't go crazy and go kill somebody?
Mhm.
You're talking about I'm strapped? Like, this guy should be in jail. 20, 30 calls in the afternoon. You're saying you're strapped? There's a child involved?
It's wild. It's wild. But on the bright side, hopefully some more positive programs will come out of it, like not just in the Sacramento area, but some like educational workshops that we can just be doing. Because, you know, our other former guest, Juan, he was doing work, he does workshops in Africa on gender-based violence and things like that. And people think, you know, we separate politics and jujitsu and things like that. But like we really have a nice platform to educate people while choking them out, as Dom says he does in the social project. But speaking of that, and like crazy people like Manny showing up outside of my house and how I get scared about that, you know, I literally live less than 2 miles away from the insurrection. What is it? Is it an insurrection?
It's a coup.
It's
It
a
was
coup.
attempted coup.
Literally live 2 miles. That was also outside my door in DC. So like
Yeah.
I actually like so I teach at a night school and I got off work on Tuesday and I rode the hell out of Capitol Hill. I was like deuces, because we all know the Proud Boys were coming. I don't know how the National Guard knew. Like I got the fuck out of Capitol Hill, so I don't understand how the National Guard couldn't secure the Capitol a little bit better than that.
Mm. Well, I mean, some background. Both my parents were in the DC National Guard. And so when I was a kid, they always told me, like, what's special about the DC National Guard is that it's the president's guard. It's not because it's DC's not a state. So, if the president told all those guys to come through,
Yeah,
he's
I
not,
know.
he's not,
We
he's
saw them
not calling security, huh?
we saw them opening the gate.
We've been talking about this all year and specifically all summer, Nico, about police brutality, um, just about the struggles that we have. I mean, you guys know the history of the police and all the way back to the fugitive slave catchers and what have you. And, we talk about this on the show and like we live here. I was like spooked to even go to practice that night just because like I don't know where these motherfuckers is going on the road. Like I know that I saw they was chilling in the Hyatt Regency after, but like I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. When they say they send in the Maryland and Virginia National Guard and like the DMV is kind of big, but it's kind of small.
And
You know
DC
what I'm
is
saying?
tiny. Like the
And
city's tiny,
like
so you know they ain't staying in the city, and that's expected.
exactly, right? And to see that the police are letting these people in is very disturbing and it's
They,
very
they,
disheartening.
they
But
fired less shots yesterday or Wednesday than they did at Breonna Taylor's house.
wow, really?
Did they fire any shots? One? They killed
I
what?
mean, they
How
killed
many
that
shots did
one.
they fire? How many
They,
shots did
they
they
killed
fire
one
on
person.
Wednesday?
The police killed like it wasn't even the police that killed. It was like Secret Service black dude just shot the lady that was like he told you
Yo,
get
he
your
clipped
ass
her.
out the
He
window
clipped her.
with one shot. Pow. But
Like,
all jokes
why?
aside,
Like, it was white privilege to stare into the barrel of a gun and try to hop through a window, though. So it's just like,
I think it's weird like the police let them in and then the police were taking selfies with the traitors, the terrorists. And this is another example of the benefit of the doubt, I feel. So much so that you're allowed to just walk into the Capitol. Didn't they leave like bombs and shit there or whatever?
they found, like, they recovered pipe bombs.
So they had pipe bombs. They brought the Confederate flag in there, like just ransacked these people's offices. Senators, congressmen had to duck for cover. They had to hide.
There was three of
And
the deaths because of medical emergencies.
Yeah, they killed a police officer. It's ironic. The Blue Lives Matter crew killed more cops than the Black Lives Matter crew.
Yeah,
And
true, very true. It was funny to see the Blue Lives Matter flag storming in there. It was just, it was the culmination of a lot of bullshit that's been brewing. Can't say I'm really surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm very disturbed that this guy's still in office. I'm very disturbed that people are beating around the bush. I unfollowed all these Trumpers anyway, but I don't know what kind of mental gymnastics they're doing now. They're probably just don't. I think it's to the point now where I think the lines are drawn in the sand, and it's gonna make like jujitsu once like COVID dies down, a very strange place when the gyms start opening back up. Because with all this shit, like guys like Manny Ray Gonzalez, all the shit we see in the news, and all the shit people snitch on themselves because of social media. Like
that's
they
exactly
do.
that's exactly what happened today on Favela Jiu-Jitsu, because like in response to all of this, I had a post and it was just saved and I didn't even know where it came from, but it was like 5 pages and it said like Black athletes that have made history in the sport.
Mhm.
And then I posted it, and then the people that did post it got in contact with me and they're like, could you please tag us in it? And very, of course I should have done it, but like come to find out, like they are like a small academy, small social project in Brazil. They are like Brazilian, they do not speak English.
Mhm.
And afterwards, and I didn't realize this because I had work all day today. I get to work and they're like, no, we've been following the comments and the comments, and we're thinking about doing more work. Like, thank you for like giving us the credit afterwards. And we actually had a second edition that we did that had come out in like November. But like I didn't realize what they meant about the comments. And when I went to the comments, there was like 128 comments on it. And like there were some of them that were like, this is unnecessary right now. And then there were some of them that said, there's a lot of people missing from here. And like I was just so shocked, like, because the intention of the post was, like clearly it was there was a ton of people missing. There's a ton of Black athletes in jujitsu that have made history or have impacted us. But like to be so short-sighted to see one that the material is in Portuguese and to realize, some of the people are like saying like, oh, what about Tim and DJ or maybe Master Lloyd? And it's like, well, one like they're American and they like are marketed in an American in an English market, and you're like, I don't really know how much like a small social project like this that isn't even in Rio, I'm not sure where they are, would really understand or grasp about your career, because not much of it is in Portuguese. It really makes
Mhm.
me think, because Gilberto, I actually have a message. He did mention, he said he's a big fan of you, cited an actual match. He's like, I saw you and Cornelius, I think it was. And I was like, oh, that's dope. He sent it to me after we did the interview. But it's like there really is an inequity in media coverage. It's like I don't know how much like they can research about DJ Jackson to make a post like this. So that was one thing. I was like, like why are we like? I'm just trying to create like a positive Black image after we just saw like the Capitol sieged by like white supremacists. Like I can't post like something like even a little bit, not all encompassing of every Black person, but I can't have some positive Black thing. Like, and to somebody that said it was unnecessary, I think my response was like, well, we support the Black Lives Matter movement, and with everything that's happened in the US, I think it's like very necessary. And that just got into like somebody went out and was like, well, all lives matter. And I was just like, well, you're racist. I was
They
like,
are.
you're
It is
I was like,
racist.
I was like, you're not gonna come. I was like, and let's think about the context. It's like literally there was white supremacists attacking the US Capitol. And then I asked some Brazilians, I was like, y'all aware of what happened over here? Like over there? Like,
Do
or
they? Do they know what
they
happened?
do. They do. It was all over the news. Like, so I was like, well, maybe he doesn't know. Like, because not only it wasn't just attack, like white supremacist is in the news. So I was like, for you to say this is unnecessary, or to say that like color doesn't matter at a time like this when we just completely saw how color does matter, that's pretty stupid. And like to come like literally when we were seeing like all lives matter and blue lives matter people storm the Capitol, now's not the time to be telling me all lives matter, because I find that like disrespectful. All lives do matter, but Black Lives Matter is a movement, and we are citing and fear, like we are cited and angry about hate crimes, certain specific hate crimes that are like have been tried in the court of law. And hate crimes are crimes committed because of a person's color, their race, their creed. So to say that color doesn't matter to us is insulting. And if your opinion when I am trying to uplift Black people and the Black Lives Movement is all lives matter, then I'm gonna try to say this without cursing y'all out, because I've been trying to not curse everybody out all day, but like you're really not people, like you are racist. That is a very racist statement, and I really don't care what you think or if you follow my business page. So yeah, I can't believe people had the audacity to do that today. Like it blew me.
I'm just very speechless by it. And I can tell the hurt in your voice because, you know, I just feel like I just hate feeling like I'm under attack just for doing what I do, or just underappreciated, or, I'm gonna be honest, like I talk to people over since I just like to point everything in reference to since we've been locked down. It's because like we started growing. I think the beautiful part about us being stuck inside is that the black jujitsu or the black, brown, indigenous people in martial arts were able to start communicating with each other. And the more we talk to each other, the more we realize like we get shit on. We can't have anything for ourselves in this space. You just said it.
Yeah.
We're the jiu-jitsu community, I said earlier in this show, is just pretty much racist. It is. We try to make our own lane. We try to build up people that are shitted on. We have our own thing. And then it's always somebody coming in, an outsider, trying to say, well, what about us? Well, what about us? Can't we have our own shit?
I got a whole what about us story. He was like, I was born in the favela. I struggled this, that, da 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 da. And I was like, I don't like everybody struggled, and I embrace everybody's struggle. Nobody embraces everybody's struggle more than I do because I do this all for free. So I feel very confident saying you can fuck off. But it's like right now, it's like, yeah, you had to like I support everybody from the favela, but there's a time and a place to say that like Black people from the favela have struggled. Black people have in proportionate amounts seem themselves killed. Like me as a mixed person living in Washington, D.C., I struggle to not wake up in the morning and find the first thing I see when I pull out my phone as negative news, being dead people normally, especially in DC, especially working with alternative youth, where those are my students and my students' friends that are getting murdered on a daily basis in DC. Like, so I'm very much aware of it. So like that's why I get offended when people say like all lives matter, because they are terrorizing Black lives. And I need that white kid in the favela or the white person that has also struggled. Like, we recognize your struggle too. Like a meth head growing up in a trailer park, they're having another struggle. It's not the Black struggle. I recognize that and I respect that in its time and its place, but its time and its place is not in the middle of a Black Lives Movement march. Like, it's
No.
insulting to say that to somebody's face.
Tell them get their own shit. Like,
Yeah, it's
get
like
your
it's
own
exactly
shit.
where
Get
is
your
your
own
feed?
shit.
And that's what I've been encouraging people to do, because the people that made the post were like, yeah, we're thinking about doing more. And like, so I've encouraged everybody. It's like, yo, if you think there was lacking, first understand that like American athletes, Black American athletes might not be portrayed in the Brazilian media and Portuguese. Like, that's not their fault, and nor is it the people that are making this post. And also, I was telling them like, yo, share this post on your stories, tag people you think would be included and the people that created the post, because not only are you helping them grow their platform, not only are you helping share Black stories, but then like if you think there's a problem, like you're not going to solve the problem arguing with me in the comments. You're going to solve it maybe like collaborating with the people that made the original post, which is something that me and that person have been doing today, despite the fact that I have been working from 9 to 5 and came home from work to do this podcast and am still trying to do this social work. So again, I say, if you got a problem with it, fuck you.
I mean, you couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself. So, one last thing before I wrap what I have to say on my thoughts. I've heard a lot of times, we have to come together as a community, just as human beings, or in our case in America. But I'm starting to feel like maybe we should just cut people off and tell them to fuck off and just do our own thing.
I've been telling people to do that forever. That's why this is my first like contact with those like outright racists in the jiu-jitsu community. Like that's what I've been saying. People tell me about them, but I'm in my own little bubble with my tribe.
Just like full stop. Just full stop. We're not talking to you. Unfollow, block, don't buy their shit. And you're a Buddhist, you said. You're all about actions and works. Invest your time, energy, spirit, money in people that are doing good. The Doms, the Dwans, the favela jiu-jitsus, the no Nikos, all that. This podcast.
We also did like another interview. We doubled it up today. So we were also just like talking to somebody from Dream Art, and like which was dope because he's Brazilian, practicing his English. And like I say, it's hard to cross those barriers. That's something I always try to do with favela jiu-jitsu, is help link those people that can't cross those language barriers. But like Dream Art is pretty much founded by like somebody that got money, probably like a white dude. No, it doesn't matter what color he is, but what he is a playboy. We'll talk about independent. He got all that money. And what is he doing? It like he did Dream Art. Like that's all based off of like one man with a lot of money, and he's making moves. Like he did a lot for the jiu-jitsu community, and amazing things. And I think it's even dope. I think people need to appreciate platforms, and like Tim, like I'm on this too, like I'm a host now too, but like it definitely came from Tim and DJ. The fact that like there's not a lot of American media content that looks for Brazilian athletes that barely speak English. And well, he speaks really good English, but you still have to there. It's not like we can't chop it up like we are here, and really like find that content and try to bring it to people. So I think it's important to support like those independent podcasts like Rear Naked Radio and all those other things, like because everybody's complaining, but like we are putting out content, like and it's important to like look for it and support it and share it so more people can see positive content.
Excellent. I totally agree. So Nico,
are you acting like you got a random question I'm not prepared for?
No, I'm just saying, Nico, just whew, what a crazy, we are so happy. Last week was just so kind of joyous, kind of like what a relief. And now it's more crazy shit going on. But hey, listen, folks, the BJJ Goons will always be here for you unless, some more crazy shit happens in the Capitol or whatever. But let's hope not. Nico, anything you'd like to plug? Where can we find you?
You can find me at Nonu Nico on Instagram. It never changes. Make sure to check out favelajiujitsu.com. We are putting up more written content there. We also have content in Portuguese, so we've been getting like freelance contributors in both languages too. So make sure to check that out and support us. Share our stories online, because when you share it, you don't even have to buy stuff. You can always buy stuff. But even just sharing stories really helps.
You guys can find me at Tim Spriggs BJJ on Instagram or Facebook. Instagram's probably a better place to hit me up because I'm on there way more. You can also hit me up at timspriggsbjj.com. If you want to book a seminar with me, you can contact me on either Instagram or at timspriggsbjj.com. This has been the BJJ Goons podcast. Remember, guys, be positive, except for COVID-19. Be negative with that. And yeah, fuck all those racist people in jiu-jitsu and in the world. Fight the power. Peace.